Hello everyone, welcome to another wonderful match in the group stage of the 2021 main tourney for the Link to the Past. We have DJ Darkwing versus KillerApp right now, and this is going to be game one for them. So I am Hammerbro in the booth, and I am joined by Xander Robotnik. How are you doing, man?
I am doing good myself. I am excited to see some more rando action today. And looking at KillerApp's screen, am I seeing a sprite? So a literal sprite?
It does look like it. It looks like we have a sprite. If this weren't hard item pool, we might see a Pepsi can or a Coke can upon having the mail upgrades. But since this is hard item pool, we're not going to be seeing any mails today.
Got it. And on DJ Darkwing's side, am I seeing, is that a Power Ranger?
Yes, that is one of his preferred sprites, the Power Ranger, who's going to be staying at red as well. So yeah, if you guys are unfamiliar with the settings, we have a regular old standard seed, but the hard item pool is in effect. That's not hard item functionality, so you don't have to worry about that, as we do get a start here coming up. But hard item pool means that, like I said before, no mail upgrades, no silvers, and only 3 swords, as well as a reduced amount of hearts. And speaking of swords, hello, that is one right there. So we're going to be doing escape the normal way, unless Uncle gives us something a bit more fun to assist him.
So even with a sword being there, Uncle is still guaranteed to give another item that could be used to beat escape, correct?
I don't know if he's required. I want to say I've pulled something out of here and then Uncle hasn't given me anything at times, but he can. He very much can give you something. Okay, well, according to Drosy, he is required, so there you go. And let's do both.
I was going to say one of my favorite things about standard seeds with randomized swords is figuring out what are we going to get from Uncle, but sword out of the first chest doesn't really matter anymore anyway. And a hammer, come on, what is going on here?
Okay, so that's today's standard seed brought to you by pick whatever you want to smack the enemies with, or I guess just, pierce them with an arrow instead. Yeah, we've got options. We have options.
What does that leave us with in terms of items we haven't seen that Uncle could have given, like red cane, bombs, fire rod?
Red cane, blue cane, bombs, fire rod. I want to say that's it, yep.
There's enough chests that we can find those all in here, I think.
I mean, well, you hope that you find the bombs before you get to the back or sanctuary, because that would make that part easier. As we haven't seen any extra kills yet, and we haven't gotten any drops from the stuff that we have killed. So the question of can we find bombs is still quite up in the air. I don't know that I'm ever going to get used to seeing that sprite can just kind of bouncing around.
It's definitely got a nice little swagger as it moseys through the castle here, I will say.
I would be more inclined to call it a limp, but yeah, I guess swagger does work too. Well, where's one of the other ones? You said it. I'm blaming this one on you. If we pull Soma out of Zelda Cell.
You know what? I'd be okay with that. Oh, that's something I will take the blame for. Sure, why not? Let's see a red cane.
Let's see a red cane. So does that mean the 10 bombs are going to be in... Oh, no, they can't. We're only going to get one more item in these next couple chests, so... Alright, so with Dark Cross being the key, since we haven't seen that yet, we're going to need that to get to the back. Our runners are going to be on their own to find bombs. No help from any of these chests. Other than, giving them 3 weapons to use. And KillerApp looks like he's gonna be mainly waiting for, I would assume, the snake room to try and hope to get some. We might see a couple of shots down this hallway too. He is not too worried about it, just trying to run through escape as quickly as he can. The reason that we're bringing it up is because we do have 3 chests in the back of escape that have potential to have good stuff. And although we can get to the back of escape really, really quickly if we have a glove, there's no guarantee that we're going to get one of those. So you might potentially have to come through here the long way again to get to the back, and that's something that runners want to avoid because it really just doesn't start your seed out very well.
True, and as we can see, this is the only dark rooms of the run that we will be seeing this little cone for without the lantern. So it could be the only dark rooms we actually see the light of at all. If they were to come back later because they don't get a bomb now, will the cone still exist?
I do not believe so. I'm pretty sure that you only get it the one time. And yeah, there's the key. KillerApp's still not worried about it, so I don't know if he got a drop that gave him some information. Okay, so the snakes are part of the miscellaneous pack, and there is a bomb. Meanwhile, I think KillerApp got some arrows from a rat, so I want to say they're part of the arrow pack. All right, so with DJ pulling a bomb out of here and KillerApp not doing so, if there's something useful back here, especially something along the lines of a glove, this could be a huge pull for DJ.
Yeah, I guess that was very interesting seeing KillerApp just commit to not having a bomb. Didn't even really look for one throughout their adventure there. And see, we got a heart container, heart piece, and 10 arrows. Not missing much in these chests. Darkwing not too happy about it.
Yeah, you know it's a fun game when you're 6 minutes in and the happy slashes have already started. Quick map check. I saw Hera and Eastern being a crystal, and Hera being the red pendant. I did not get to see Desert though. All right, our wonderful tracker Seryu X puts up Desert as a crystal, so he apparently did see it. And yep, Desert is crystal number 4. So 2 crystals in the light world, 1 pendant. So dark world's going to have our green pendant, 1 more standard pendant, and both red crystals. So relatively busy dark world today. Okay, KillerApp with no bombs, and only 60 rupees deciding, or 80 rupees now, deciding to head elsewhere.
DJ Darkwing showing us that the little bug under the bush had bombs, which means KillerApp must not have picked it up.
Yeah, KillerApp ignored checking Lumberjack in its entirety. So because of that, you save a little bit of time by just heading into the forest the same way you'd head out, as opposed to kind of doing a circle like DJ's doing.
And we saw Lumberjack had a blue boomerang, and there was a cape on that island in the lake.
So that's interesting only because, as DJ just puts that crab in a corner, that's interesting only because we know that we're not going to have a cape for potential Aga play. If this is an Aga seed, we're going to have to get 2 swords, which, I mean, that's nice, right?
Yeah, I'd take that for sure.
All right, so KillerApp with that bow and knowing that Eastern is a pendant, or knowing that Eastern's a crystal. Speaking of pendants, though, Ice Palace being green pendant today, which is something that everyone enjoys seeing. Not as much fun as green pendant TR or TR, Thieves Town or Pod, but it's still on the list of like. Anyways, it looks like KillerApp is going to be heading towards Eastern and just going to try and knock out a crystal. Unfortunately, Eastern does not naturally have bombs in here under any of the pots, so he wasn't going to be able to get a refill there, which is why he had to grab bombs. but still be able to take out a crystal and then probably head over to CAC.
I gotta say, it's really interesting seeing how big of a divergence we. Oh, we got another sword in this basement and a glove. Wow! But the fact that it's just they're going so different routes just because KillerApp didn't get bombs, it's making so much of a difference.
Yeah, like you said, it's literally the difference of KillerApp didn't do Lumberjack Ledge, and because he didn't do Lumberjack Ledge, he never picked up that bomb crab. I also do feel like the bow has a lot to do with it. You know, because you have the bow, you can just head over and do Eastern. It's not a big deal. I think if Uncle had given us the bow, I'm not sure if KillerApp would have chosen to do this. And, I mean, we don't know. If there's a bottle or a flute in here, KillerApp will end up saving some time.
Back of the well giving us a mirror, the other glove, a book, and a bottle. Wow, CAC's got quite the stuff today.
All right. Wow. Yeah, that was a load of stuff. So, bottle vendor giving us 2 for 1, which isn't terrible. It's better than we normally get. Speaking of things on the loose, though, we still do have that moon pearl we've got to find. We have Dark World access literally every way and any way we could possibly want it outside of a hook shot to get us quicker access to Dark Death Mountain. We're still missing that moon pearl. Sick Kid, meanwhile, saying, "You don't need a boomerang for Lumberjack. I've got one right here." Although the one on Lumberjack is the better one.
Oh, the pretty sparkles don't make up for the less utility?
Not in my opinion. It always seems to lag my game when I throw it, so.
That means you just get to enjoy the view longer. I think it's worth it.
So, if I'm not mistaken, that was a green 20 up on library.
I saw it was money. I think you're right. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that being the case, that means that's one of the upgrade. Like, it's an upgrade that we're not going to get to see because we're in hard mode.
Right, and given that we have the bow, that could be silvers. It could also be a male upgrade. KillerApp having a little trouble with that with this dark room. It's one of those dark rooms, like, looking at it, you're like, come on, this is easy. I shouldn't ever struggle with this. But it's just like sometimes you just can't get the lineup right, or you can't get the Igor ticked off at you enough to come after you, or you get the other one on the left, and then it kind of gets scary because they do a full heart of damage, and usually when you're walking into Eastern, you don't have much in the way of health. Nice pattern there for KillerApp, being able to take out both of those Stelphos without any difficulty. What's the plural form of Stelphos? Is it just Stelphos? Is it Stelphoses? Stelphi? Like, what are we going with?
Stalphophysis. Got to make it as complicated as possible.
Stelphophysis. Okay, I'll try to remember that. It's going to get really confusing once we get up the gauntlet, though. I'll be saying that word a lot, I feel like. And with Armos just given us a crystal and a partial reimbursement of hardware utilized. KillerApp not really coming up with anything. But hey, 13 minutes for a crystal is still really nice. I feel like he's going to be jumping over to Kakariko. Although at this point, KillerApp might just go like full insanity and just go ahead and do South Shore right now, because that is also within the realm of possibility. And it looks like That might just be what he's doing. Yeah, we're going to get a South Shore play.
Overall, I mean, Kakariko is something that you know you got to do. You're not going to hold off that long on it. We'll see KillerApp there soon enough that I can't imagine it's going to be that costly to them.
No, even though, like, I mean, Kakariko was really nice, and we got some stuff out of there, like mitts in the book and the like. It's not something like boots or flute that would give DJ a real advantage in terms of time. So, not really a big deal.
Yeah, because the main thing to note is both of these runners are doing things that we know the other runner's going to do. DJ Darkwing is now in Eastern after KillerApp was there. KillerApp's going to go to Kakariko. Darkwing will most likely do South Shore afterwards as well, because that's an early place we like to go. So really they're just doing things in a different order.
Yeah, the only way one of them gets a lead here from this is if one, either KillerApp pulls a flute out of these next couple of checks, thus not having to run back to Kakariko afterwards, or if DJ or if KillerApp decides to go to Agnes Cave, which is something that, given that DJ has the book, ooh, that's an unfortunate death in Moldorm Cave. Given that DJ has the book, it may be a situation where DJ would only have to do that once for the desert area. Alright, so an unfortunate death early here for KillerApp, but not something that actually loses that much time. This death is more of a keep your head, don't get tilted, than anything that's actually going to win or lose you the game in most cases. So we'll see if he can run through this relatively easily and then go from there.
Round 2 takes the mini Moldorms down. Nice and easy. Got ourselves a heart piece, 20 rupees, and more cash. Shovel, that's something. And there's the 10 bomb pole.
Alright, so we're getting there. Oh, I forgot to mention, fire rod's also an option for Uncle. Like, it happens so rarely, and it's so nice when it does, but we haven't seen that one either. So at this point, we know the KillerApp isn't going to get a glove over here to farm some cash to do fake flippers. So it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do, dependent on what is here in Ice Rod Cave. Oof! Or alternatively.
Those crabs, they got more wiggle and swagger than the Sprite can does sometimes. Just beats them and knocks them down.
And honestly, that's the terrifying part of it. Like, those crabs moving north and south, not a problem at all. But at any moment, they could start moving east to west on you. And when they do, they've got a turbo button to help them go a little faster. Nice kill there from DJ. That's going to be his first crystal. It looks like KillerApp is deciding to forego Ice Rod Cave for now. Ha! Pulse of Vanilla Flute. Okay.
KillerApp definitely happy to see that after that unfortunate death. Won't have to trek all the way back there to Ice Rod Cave. Won't take as long to get there anymore, for sure.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And at this point, KillerApp is just going to go ahead and take that up here. And honestly, I think they're going to be at about the same time. Unless DJ heads over to desert, which he might choose to do. Yeah, I think they're going to get here at around the same time. Unless KillerApp decides to skip Ice Rod Cave, then KillerApp might actually get his section done slightly quicker.
Saw KillerApp hesitate there. I imagine they were thinking, I got sick kid to do. Oh, wait, no bottle. Wait, gotta keep going. Dang it. Gotta skip that.
Yeah, gonna have that bottle soon. I want to say that sucker's waiting in the well for us.
That sounds right. Yeah, I'm wondering if all these little checks are going to KillerApp's head. Like, oh, I left behind the 3 chests in Hyrule Castle and the sewers, and I left behind Ice Rod Cave, and now I'm leaving behind Sick Kid. Like, they will be able to get Sick Kid pretty soon here, but still, it's like they're just leaving a couple things behind. I know it would get to me if I kept doing that.
And that's a really good point. That's one of those things that can kind of sneak up on you. It bothers some runners more than others. I'm definitely part of that first group where this would definitely bother me. But that being said, KillerApp's going to pull 2 gloves out of here in just a minute. So if it's something that does bother him, like you said, quick flute over to Ice Rod Cave handles that, and then you can S and Q to Sanctuary and get the 3 in the back. So it's something that he can do if it is something that bothers him. If it's not something that bothers him too much, then he can just keep right on going and worry about it later. Or, depending on what's in Ice Rod Cave, maybe not worry about it at all, since we know that backup escape is completely useless.
All right, and let's see what KillerApp left behind up here.
Oh, whew. That's not the right color.
Sorry, KillerApp, you're gonna want to go back there pretty soon, I think.
So this is interesting. DJ with the fire source and the book is going to be heading over to desert. The unfortunate thing about this is that he doesn't have his flute yet, because that's vanilla. So it'll be interesting to see when DJ decides to go grab that flute.
The other thing DJ Darkwing doesn't have is boots. What do you think is going to be on that torch?
I mean, Rando is a game of many moods. It could be something simple, like 3 bombs, or a compass. It could also be something simple, like, I don't know, flippers, moon pearl. Actually, if I'm being perfectly honest, seeing that moon pearl on the torch, I'd be totally cool with that, because that means my boots are coming, and that is a wonderful feeling. Yeah, KillerApp with the flute is going to be able to double up. Okay, so pendant pod, green pendant, ice, which we already knew.
Real quick, what is this bunny sprite for the sprite can? Do you know what I'm looking at?
I have no idea, dude.
Okay,
I couldn't even begin to tell you what that was. It honestly just looked like a miscolored bunny, but I'm really not certain. Yeah, I think we had a 5-6 on Turtle Rock, but I might be wrong about that, and I did not see the other 5-6 at all. Hey, just a compass.
So both of our runners in desert now, but one of them can clear it. The other, not so much. Does the fire source make? Yeah, we need it for the end. I'm like, I know we need a fire source, but I'm blanking where.
It's okay. We could just have a lamp sitting here in one of these 2 chests. So with that 300 that's sitting there, we do have Zora money finally.
We have someone in chat asking what's with the colors on the left. I believe that's a one of the latest features of Randomizer is a palette swap. You know any more about that, Hammer?
Yeah, I do. So palette swap's been around for a little while, and it is something that you can select when you're downloading a seed. But it wasn't widely used until somewhat recently, as we pull a map out of the big chest, because there were certain situations where you could get like really dark colors that can make it really difficult to see shadows and stuff for bomb jumps or for stuff like that. I have been told that they have recently kind of fixed it. so that you're not going to get those colors. And DJ, being a huge fan of palette swap, is just going to use it whenever he can.
I will admit, during the first couple minutes of this race, I thought something was wrong with like my computer, and like the left half of my screen's pixels were all just busted or something.
So if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I'm so used to seeing him use it. DJ is one of my ALTTPR league teammates. I'm so used to seeing him use palette swap, I didn't even think twice about it. That's a complete and total miss on my part. I should have mentioned it friggin' 24 minutes ago, but I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's correct. It's just a cosmetic thing. Same thing as you could use an MSU pack, which is you could use different music to play over it instead of the traditional pack. It's just cosmetic. You just do it because it's fun.
And we were talking about those items in the back of KillerApp's head. We're going to see. They're going to find out nothing too interesting in the back of the sewers here. So it'll be a sigh of relief that they're not leaving these checks behind, but also a little bit of frustration in that, you know, I didn't need to come here. That's time lost, you know?
Yeah, meanwhile on DJ's side, speaking of time lost, Landmo is going to Landmo. He needs to put one more gold sword's worth of damage on each of these worms. And it looks like they were really cooperative on that third cycle, so DJ still finishing this out pretty quickly and just getting $5. So again, speaking of things that aren't really a big deal, KillerApp's going to be able to come back here and complete this crystal whenever, and no real time loss. Alright, so as sometimes happens with these wonderful, glorious seeds, Dark World access is starting to dwindle down. We have the mountain up here, and honestly, with what we have, there's a decent amount of mountain we can cover. But outside of the mountain, we have Zora that's in Logic, and then Pyramid Ledge, which is the thing no one wants to really hear. Well, some of you in chat might want to hear it. The runners don't want to hear it, because that would require an Aga play. But that being said, we've seen pretty much everything else at this point. Well, single error up on spec. Part of me is glad that was 20 rupees and not a single green rupee inside Spec Rock, and part of me's not, but I would have laughed really hard had Spec been. I have no idea what that is. I've seen it twice and I still don't know what it is.
It looks like the normal bunny sprite, but painted to look like a cow. Or a Dalmatian, maybe.
And yeah, that's correct. We do need Lamp for Aga. But that's all that we're going to be able to check in the light world, like, period. So, unless we pull a fetch quest out of here.
To be clear, are there dark rooms in Aga Tower that don't have torches in them? Is that why Fire Rod isn't enough?
Yes, there are a couple of them. Generally, those rooms are actually some of the simpler rooms. So if you have a Fire Rod and are familiar with where the wonderful, glorious torches are, you can relatively easily get through there. But yes, it does require a lamp because there are a couple of rooms that have torches that are not there. Oh, the single rupee was from the old man. I didn't see it the first time. The mountain's being cheeky.
Yeah, Spiral Cave not wielding anything much more interesting, just 20 rupees. Are we going to see Super Bunny Cave?
I mean, it's an option. I don't think we'd see it yet, but that is an option. We do have everything required to get there. Super Bunny Cave, for those who are unfamiliar, is thusly named because there is a drop down in that cave. And because there's a drop down, even though it's in the dark world, you can use a glitch called Super Bunny glitching. And it's also very easily done, doesn't require any same frame shenanigans that you can use for other caves. That being said, if KillerApp wanted to, he'd be able to go run through there. Hold on, I'm trying to find. Okay, the other 5-6 crystal is Thieves Town. He'd be able to go into the dark world, go up Super Bunny Cave, drop down, pick up those 2 chests. That would be out of logic, well, until now, because that's a Moon Pearl. But it is something that could be doable. The game won't require you to do it, but if you're in a situation where you don't have the Moon Pearl and it's there, you might as well check it, because if there is something there, it's helpful.
All that to say, yeah, it's not happening this seed. We got Moon Pearl, no Super Bunny.
Exactly, yeah. I say that, and then he pulls, he pulls Moon Pearl out of Paradox, so it's fine. Also, officially, we have Dark World access. Don't really have to worry about it. Although the lamp, as we mentioned before, is still outstanding, so wouldn't have to quite worry about it yet, anyways. All right, so bombos for TR. That's going to be, you can add that to the list of things we're going to need. I did not see Meyer. I don't know if KillerApp checked or not. I don't think he did, but I didn't see it. We're not too far off from go mode, actually. Like, we need the entire TR care package. That's absolutely required. But outside of stuff, wow. KillerApp super unlucky with those bushes. Those bushes have a decently high chance of giving you either single rupees, hearts, or fairies. And as you can see there, yeah, they just gave KillerApp single rupees. Oof.
Rewarded for walking over a bed of spikes, but it's like, okay, your feet probably hurt a bit. Here, have some boots. Cover your feet.
Huh. Well, that's a pull.
And waste no time cashing in those boots to get this King's Tomb check, too. I imagine they'll probably go to the Bonk Rocks to the left of the Sanctuary as well, shortly thereafter.
Yeah, and then probably just keep on rolling that way and head over to Village of Outcasts, if I had to guess. Although we might get a check of Ice Rod Cave first. And that's going to be kind of interesting, because that's the difference between KillerApp being able to complete Skullwoods right now and not being able to complete it. Yep, and we're going to get the fire rods, so no harm, no foul for KillerApp. Decided to go back, check back with Escape, and is coming back here to check the Ice Rod Cave. So I guess to go off of what we mentioned before, missing checks definitely bothers KillerApp. And he went ahead and just knocked them all out. Oh, with this fake flipper being a little difficult, but there we go. Sometimes the lineup is picky.
I gotta say, I'm a fan of this Sprite can floating in the water. Just sideways.
Oof! Unfortunate Zora there. Alright, so with DJ deciding to do Spike Cave as well, assuming everything goes well here, both of our runners will have the Quicken Boots. Alright, so it looks like we have opposing entries into the Dark World. KillerApp deciding to do Village of Outcasts, and DJ not realizing that you're not in the Dark World yet. Never mind, DJ is going to go do Village of Outcasts too. I thought that he was going to go into Hype Cave, but I got juked.
I would be lying if I said I haven't tried to go into Hype Cave in the wrong world myself.
Yeah, that Gibdo was stuck. And DJ trying to lure our Gibdo friends away. KillerApp did drink down a one of those 2 green cubes that they have. So keep that in mind in your bottle total. Both still have a runner. Help. Both still have a fairy and a green cube. DJ still does have that second green cube though.
Oh, it feels so much nicer to see the use of the fire rod on these Gibdos. I imagine they were saving their magic for later, and now it's coming to good use.
Yeah, I want to say it's like a Dalmatian bunny. That is what it looks like. KillerApp, why are you doing shenanigans? KillerApp, don't die. KillerApp.
We got a fairy still, right?
I know, it's just scary. I really don't like Mothula. I don't like Moldorm either. And there we go. Nice fight.
Oh, and quick note from DJ Darkwing's side, we actually got a pedestal check, and all we got out of it was a maximum health increase. So, nothing too exciting from pedestal today, folks.
Okay, that's nice to know. By the time, I swear, like I know that enemy RNG is randomized even throughout the seed, but it's really funny to just see the same thing happen. That Gibdo getting in the way of both of them. And if you missed it the first time, there's ped text number 2.
I like what the palette swap has done to Mothula's colors here. I'm digging those wings.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a very pretty set of colors. Almost like coral. Alright, 2 good fights from both our runners. Have we even gotten anything out of Skullwoods yet?
Nothing interesting, but KillerApp seems to know we haven't seen all the items yet, so we'll see how many more they grab before skedaddling.
All right, so there's the big key. With no keys in hand, KillerApp's gonna have to take the long way around, even if that was, even if there's only one item left. I don't think they've seen any items, but because we've seen a key, there was a key back there that DJ just picked up. Well, there's a hook shot, and then Moth had a dungeon item, and there was another dungeon item in the Stuffus room, or Stuffus room, Give Door room. All right, well, last item's in the big chest, because of course it is. Wow. Okay, well, lamp and hookshot. So that's a pretty loaded Skull Woods.
So it's time for Aghanim, right? Let's go up the castle tower, I think, maybe?
I mean, if you...
That boomerang, right?
If you really want, like, if you really, genuinely, truly want it, I'm not going to stop you, but I feel like neither of our runners is going to be doing that.
Nothing too special on Bumper Ledge there, so the cape that we know is on that island in the lake is not going to be too useful.
Alrighty, and that is 2 full Skull Woods is cleared. I need to stop trying to pluralize things. Good things don't happen when I try to pluralize things. Alright, so DJ is going to be doing the same thing here, except for he's going to go ahead and check the boots locations as well, since he has not gotten those done. Alright, so outside of our TR care package, we still need flippers. And I think that's it. So we need flippers, we need Soma, we need whatever the heck the medallion for Meyer is, we need bombos for TR, ice rod for TR, Soma. I think I said Soma twice. But I'm not going to say Somas because I've learned my lesson. Ooh, tempered sword. All right, that is as high as we're going to get today. No gold sword in hard mode, so.
I feel like that treasure chest minigame, in my experience, is one of like the least likely places to have something useful, at least in the seeds I've played. So I'm happy to see something good coming out of there.
Yeah, it is really interesting. It's almost like pulling the GT big key out of like the fire snake room. Like normally, if it happens, like the rentals are just like stop for a moment, like, oh, that's a thing. I was completely focused on random room at this point. All right, so a thing to note, I don't believe either runner pulled anything out of Hera. They both dipped in, but I don't recall seeing any items. I think it was a map in the bottom cage, and then I don't think either of them even went over to that bottom chest. But obviously it would just be a small key or a big key, so it wouldn't matter. So that is an option for kind of items that have been left behind so far. Other than that, this seed's been really clean in terms of what it gave you when, so you could kind of full clear stuff.
Yeah, and that includes the fact that we got Hammer super early on, so now in Thieves Town we won't be leaving behind the big chest, which I know is one of my least favorite things to do. And KillerApp, seeing how thorough they've been in the past, I'm sure they're very happy about it as well.
Yeah, both of these runners. KillerApp, more from watching him play this particular seed, and DJ from personal knowledge, that they both prefer to just get stuff cleared rather than have little asterisks. As I really should stop trying to pluralize things. It just feels weird now. Sitting on that like map tracker where you're like, oh, I need to think about that, and I've still got that one, and I left that behind. I don't think either of our runners here is someone who prefers having to do that. That is, I don't know enough about Power Rangers to know what the heck that was, but it looked like someone with a spaceship for a head.
I thought it was like a burger or a sloppy Joe.
That is actually another option. Burger Man. All right, now we're good to go. We got the sword, we got the shield.
All right, we got folks in chat letting us know it's Alpha 5 from Power Rangers. I had to do a quick Google search, and yeah, it looks like a Burger Man.
All right, well, the more you know. All right, Blind, what pun do you have for us today? Rental agents offer quarters for dollars. Honestly, I think that pun needs to be changed.
So I think the most interesting thing we pulled from Thieves Town, besides the crystal, of course, was a bug net, which, hey, can use the bug net on Aghanim. I think they want us to go there.
Xander, no. No, Xander. Bad Xander.
But the boomerang!
You have one. It's not the good one, but it's there.
All right, then where do you think we should go next?
I don't know. I figure we just do what KillerApp's gonna do. Go ahead, go knock out Dig Game, and then just sweep all the way through the south of the Dark World. And then we have the fun game of, do you jump independent pod or not? There we go. There you dropping the puns. I like that one. That was a good one. All right, Dig Game, today.
Darn, I wish I was counting that. That was a lot of shoveling.
All right, so DJ poking around with the cane to go ahead and finish this one out. Didn't exactly go according to plan, but hey, that's what the cane's there for. Just 20 bucks from our friendly smiths. And for those of you who weren't counting at home the first time and didn't really want to count this time, it's 27 digs. So darn near the rando ceiling of 30. Well, there's another shield from Stumpy, so that is the most amount of shields we're going to see today. We've pretty much maxed out in everything there is to max out other than health. No more shield, no more bow, no more mail. Well, no mail ever, but, you know. No more sword. 6 more hearts. If, that was funny. KillerApp almost forgot about that purple chest. There was a momentary hesitation of KillerApp going to go ahead and knock out the Bombos tablet, but if you do that, the purple chest glitch would no longer work. So it's a good thing that he did stop and turn around before he activated that mirror.
Something that's just registering for me now, I don't know why I didn't notice it earlier, we have the item quick swap setting on, so these runners aren't pausing to switch their items all too often.
Yep, quick swap is on for the entire tournament. It's something that's becoming more and more common. It started off as just an entrance randomizer thing, and now it has kind of, I guess, slowly infiltrated is probably the best way to put it, or infected the regular randos, or it's a wonderful thing. And you're a huge fan. I mean, there's mixed opinions, but yeah, we see very few. We see very few menus, as we see flippers out of our favorite hive cave, and nothing else, unfortunately. But that does give us access to swamp, which is another crystal, so we can just go ahead and knock that out. Actually, right now, if KillerApp wanted to. Could also run into Green Pendant Ice Palace if you were so inclined, but I feel like KillerApp's going to be more inclined to go into swamp first.
So I know we were discussing the topic of being thorough and full clearing versus leaving those asterisk checks behind. Left side swamp, I feel like, is sort of the anomaly. Even if you are thorough, you might be so inclined to leave those checks behind anyway, because it's just so out of the way for 2 chests that could be absolutely nothing.
So, I agree with you to some extent, but because of the addition of Diver Down, a lot of people who can do the bomb Diver Down on that left-hand side do left side pretty much all the time. It'll be interesting to see what our runners do, but I wouldn't be surprised to see two bomb Diver Downs done. And then, you know, they just not have to worry about it.
I will admit I'm not familiar, so I hope to see this Diver Down of which you speak.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's most commonly used in the very back, but you can use it on the left-hand side here too. And it's remarkable. I can do it with Canis Amaria sometimes. I have not learned the bomb setup. I know that DJ knows how to do it. I'm assuming KillerApp also knows how to do it. I'd be surprised if he didn't. So I imagine that we're going to see it from both runners, but at least one. So interesting. Even with flippers in hand, DJ is going to go ahead and take a look at our Meyer medallions. We'll get to see it. I'm pretty sure that KillerApp does know what it is. I did not even see that. What was that? Okay, that was Ether looking at the restream. So Ether and bombos required. He can add those to the list of stuff. Wow, and KillerApp not doing Diver Down. Okay. So maybe KillerApp isn't familiar with the bomb setup for Diver Down. Because doing Diver Down to the left-hand side is a decision, are you going to skip it or not? But if KillerApp were familiar and comfortable with the bomb setup for Diver Down, he'd have done it here. Because if you do it, you don't have to push the... Are you just skipping everything? What the heck are you doing, dude? There's 2 chests down there! Come back! Okay.
Sounds like KillerApp heard your cries through the dimensions.
Right? Yeah, so our runners are on a 10-minute stream delay, so there's no way the KillerApp act. Oh, it's a good thing you pulled those chests! Oh my goodness. That would have been insane had he forgotten about that. And that's kind of a funny spot for that, because Samaria is the other item that you could use to do a Diver Down glitch. So that was definitely one of those, you know, either you know it and you do the bomb setup and it's fine, you pull the Cane of Samaria out of there and you kind of giggle a little bit, or you don't know it, you pull Cane of Samaria out of there and you're like, oh, thanks, all right, that's awesome. KillerApp having some difficulty here with Argus. It's definitely a weird setup sometimes, especially when Argus is in a very spry mood, we'll call it. Because Argus is moving today. And nicely done there to clean it up. And now the question is going to be, is KillerApp going to go clear the left side? We really don't have much in the way of good options left. We have the Flipper checks. We have Green Pendant Ice Palace. And yeah, KillerApp is going back in. But I don't know that we're going to see him do Diver Down. Hopefully we'll see it on DJ's side, or else I will have spent this whole time talking about it. You know, just nothing. So we'll see. I also don't believe we saw the big key. Do you recall seeing the big key for Swamp in here? I don't think you've seen it yet.
I don't think so.
And yep, Chad also mentioning we do have Catfish as well as Pyramid Ledge as well. And Pendant Pod. But speaking of things you don't want to go into, you know, Pendant Pod, Pendant Ice, Pendant Hera, we still have that too. As well as Hookshot Cave, so we do have some stuff up there, but our runners would probably like to have a little more in the way of clearing. Just no one's doing Diver Down. Okay, well, never mind. Forget I asked. Forget I mentioned it.
But even without that, we do see that KillerApp does decide, yes, I want to be thorough in Swamp. I'm going to check these chests.
Yeah, I don't blame him, honestly. Like I said, there's not really a whole lot that you want to go do right now. KillerApp does have one item on Landmo that's also, you know, within logic to clear. But that's one of those situations where you'd really rather have the Ether Medallion and just go ahead and clear Mire and then go ahead and finish out Desert. You know, you don't want to be taking a third trip over there if you don't have to. That is not the right gold coin. Can I have another?
Well, this is gonna have to be a boss key, right? So I have a little bit of nope, never mind.
Hey, there's another.
Oh wait, that's right. The boss key can lock itself, can't it? So that's what's happening here.
Ask and you shall receive. That is a commentator's blessing, ladies and gentlemen. And that is kind of interesting. Okay, so KillerApp is going to go ahead and do these flipper checks. Okay, that's not a bad idea because I actually thought the KillerApp might just go straight into Meyer, but has decided to go ahead and finish this stuff first. I do not blame him.
And DJ Darkwing thinking the same thing. There's more checks to be had in here. I want to clear this place out, and they are going to be happy with what they find.
Absolutely, and the great thing here is that it gives you a little bit of an Olay at first. You pick up the first one, you're like, that's not the right, and then there's just another one sitting there for you. All right, Pyramid Ledge is having $20, so I think we're gonna go see a catfish, and then we're gonna go get a mirror and finish up our flipper checks. Perfect time. You're walking right by it. Might as well grab yourself. Okay, so this is Diver Down. There you go. And that's kind of a modified use. So basically what you can do with that is, I don't know if you saw, but he used the bomb to hit the switch and then left right before it exploded. So that way, the moment that he came back into that room via the diver down method, he was able to reactivate the bomb and then just not have to go all the way around. Saves a couple of screen transitions, saves a couple of seconds.
Definitely a really nifty trick to have under your belt.
All right, nothing in Waterfall Fairy for KillerApp. And it looks like DJ is not going to be doing that. All right, as we see a heart on Azora Ledge. Okay, so with nothing in the flipper checks, the fact that DJ has skipped them, at least for the time being, is saved time. There's obviously a decent chance that he will go back to them, but if he does not, that's going to be time that he does not have to spend. Okay, never mind. I was going to ask if KillerApp missaw the medallion here, because I'm pretty sure that this is where you just head to, since it is, in fact, a crystal that you can clear, but go ahead and fluting over here. I was thinking that maybe KillerApp saw it as Bombos, or didn't check it the first time around. Jack Allen for the bird toss, which he does give, but my favorite thing to do is actually drop out the hammer and just give it a bird smush. Especially with Quick Swap, you don't even have to menu for it. It's great.
Gotta say, I'm not surprised. Hammer Bro being your name? Why not?
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, $20 there, so that is, at this point, most likely either a mail or a bow.
Could be a shield.
Or a shield, that's fair. Could also be a sword. We're not at the point, I don't think, that it could be, whatchamacallit, a heart yet. It is kind of interesting because there are a certain amount of hearts and heart pieces that are within there before they start counting against you. So if you've gotten all the heart pieces but not all the heart containers, and vice versa, you could still pull big 20s that are health, or green 20s that are health before you get to your max health, which is 14 hearts. DJ a little low on magic here, so gonna go ahead and use torches on this. Meanwhile, KillerApp is indecisive, is completely indecisive, and has decided to go to the back. I'm not sure what that was.
It was another green 20, so another not upgrade.
Oh no, sorry. I mean, I'm not sure what KillerApp was running through his head when he kind of went back and forth there.
Got it. Well, DJ Darkwing's second item in Mire was another not upgrade, so we found the 2 items of the Mire.
All right, so if KillerApp decides to just nope out of here and leave this item behind, he won't be missing anything. We'll see what he chooses to do. It looks like DJ is trying to set up. Although maybe not. It was kind of an odd setup. Perhaps he's not trying to set up the spooky mire. KillerApp didn't worry about it. I don't think DJ got it. I didn't hear it. Yeah, okay. So DJ tried to set it up, but it didn't work. Alright, so without a cape, this fight can be slightly terrifying, especially on green mail, but KillerApp only has 1 mini eyeball that decides it's going to just stay home for the time. There we go. Dash strats, give them the boots. All right, and KillerApp is headed back in here, which is something DJ won't have to do. But if KillerApp follows with once, no, I feel like KillerApp's probably just going to head over to the right, so it won't be too long for KillerApp finds that second item. All right, so we need Bombos and we need Ice Rod. And DJ, you didn't need to do that again, bud. All right, so where are we going, Xander?
Is this looking like a pendant pod?
Yeah, it's looking like a pendant pod.
I mean, you know where my vote would have been, but I don't think anyone's going to listen to me.
I'm not sure I want to know where your vote would have been.
Gotta have that boomerang, I'm telling you. Alright, there's 5 items to be had in pod, right?
Yeah, that's correct. There's 5 items to be had. It's not a bad check. Green Pendant Ice Palace is another option, because with Green Pendant, it gives you 4. But I definitely don't blame the pod check. And for those in chat who are asking, yes. DJ is using the Red Power Ranger, and Dark Death Mountain has been checked, kind of. We didn't get a chance to see any part of Hookshot Cave because we did not have boots or hookshot, but we have seen Super Bunny, and we have seen Spike. And we have seen Ether Tablet as much. That's not technically Dark Death Mountain, but normally it's later Death Mountain, so I threw it in there for free.
It's funny that you say we didn't have boots for Dark Death Mountain Hookshot Cave because we got the boots in Spike Cave right after leaving that area.
Yeah, it was definitely a kind of a cheeky location for it. Which, honestly, neither of us even thought of at the time. Like, when you pull boots out of Spike Cave, you're not thinking, oh, that's cheeky. You're thinking, yes, please. I mean, how many times do you walk through there, exhaust all of your magic, and then get a stinking 20 for it?
Every time.
It seems like it. Alrighty, quick landmo kill for KillerApp, bringing him up to 6 crystals as well. So at this point, it is the search for TR access and the ice rod. This is a situation where I'd much prefer to find the ice rod first, because if you find bombos first, then you sit there and start thinking, do I assume that ice rod's gonna be Hookshot Cave or TR? And that's not a great assumption to have to run through. Alright, and KillerApp's going to go ahead and do Ice Palace, so we do have a bit of divergence here. The joke's on both of them. It's actually sitting in Hera.
Why do you gotta do that to him? Come on.
Because I'm not running this seed, baby!
We did get an ice rod cave check. It actually had the fire rod, so just a few incorrect colorations on the top.
Okay, it was, and I quote, not the rod you're looking for. That's the rod we're looking for! Okay, so...
And there's the bombos and ice!
Okay, alright, so on the surface, this is good and bad for both of them, but depending on how KillerApp plays this could be really bad for him. Because again, if KillerApp, as we were trying to see an icebreaker here, if KillerApp, really clean, if KillerApp decides that TR is the play, then that's going to be basically a full clear of Turtle Rock without that ice rod. So it'll be interesting to see what KillerApp does afterwards. KillerApp obviously not full on going for the TR play, as we are going to get a completion of this dungeon at the very least, or at least the items pulled out of here. I don't know how far it'll go, but he didn't mirror out, so he's at least giving Ice Palace some consideration.
As you were saying, it's probably better off finding the ice rod first rather than Bombo, so I'd rather be in DJ Darkwing's shoes right now, personally.
Absolutely, but that's only because we don't know what's going on in KillerApp's head right now. You know, if KillerApp is in a situation where... Because also, on the flip side, DJ has not checked any of these flipper checks. So if DJ does Pyramid Fairy and then goes up to Catfish, that's more time spent that KillerApp is not going to be doing because he's already done it. So it really all depends right now on what KillerApp is thinking. Is he thinking, let's go ahead and jump in the pod? Or is he thinking we're doing this and then we're going up the mountain? Because there are a lot of checks up there. TR has 6, I want to say, if you include Mimic Cave. And there's still those 4 that we mentioned in Hookshot Cave. And even though we don't want to think about it, there's 2 sitting in Hera as well. So that's 12 right there. Numbers-wise, it's a good play. But we just know that the reality of it is that the ice rod's in the pod. It's the pod rod. At first, I thought I was going to see some weird glitch I'd never seen before, but then I realized that DJ was just spending some magic, so we can go ahead and get a couple of goos here.
KillerApp gonna brandish that Bombos. This guy's face just melt him down. Nice to have it for this boss for sure.
Yeah, especially because I don't think he had a full magic bar coming in. You're going to want to be careful. These suckers do 4 hearts apiece. All right, nicely done. Pretty
Cold
good
stare's
kill
okay.
there.
I swear I didn't blank on the name for like 10 seconds there. It's all good. Cold stare.
It was warm stare after that bombos, though, not going to lie. So picking up the green pendant here is good for KillerApp because that gives him another reason to go in that direction. If KillerApp goes there immediately and DJ basically runs into Ice Palace after these flipper checks, it's gonna be close. All right, so 1 or 5. 1 or 5. And wow. Okay, so, yep, I think we're gonna be okay. That's a crazy play. Wow, I wonder if KillerApp's doing that because of the earlier deaths. It's like normally it's a situation where if that's what you've got left, you just go ahead and jump into TR is what I normally see people do. So that's really interesting. Or I wonder if he just kind of got a feeling like, you know, got the green pendant anyways. Let's just hop in here real quick.
Now the only thing that's got me a little worried is for DJ's side. As you mentioned, there is a lot up in Death Mountain, so they could opt to go up there, try to do Hookshot Cave and stuff like that. They can't do T-Rock, so they can't lose too much time, but it still could be enough to give KillerApp a bigger edge than they may already have right now.
Yes, absolutely. There's still 6 items there, so it is going to be interesting to see, but that flute is coming out, it looks like. So, yep, I think we're going to be okay. DJ goes ahead and just flutes over to 8 as KillerApp lost the monkey somehow. I didn't ever see Kiki get left behind, but somehow didn't have it. Oh, duh. It was because KillerApp had iframes. DJ had an hour and 16 minutes in checking the cape on Hylia. And yeah, we're gonna get a hobo check first, which isn't a bad idea, but at this point, like, we know it's sitting in Ice Palace. It's going to be close, I think. Because Ice Rod was in the back in the Terrapin room. And I want to say that the Bombos Medallion was relatively early here in Ice Palace, so... All right, so chat informing me that it is first check in Ice. So DJ is actually going to get out of here a little bit earlier, but not by nearly enough to be comfortable. You know, it's kind of weird seeing Ice Palace have Meyer colors. That is very green. Holy moly. And there it is, 117-22. Go mode for DJ.
KillerApp just, what is it, 2 rooms away here from getting their Ice Rod?
Yes. This is amusingly enough a situation where doing the hammer yump would be a loss of time, but I don't think KillerApp was looking to line that up, so we're okay. Because we do already have the big key. So that could have been a situation where if KillerApp had done the hammer yump, then he'd have to go through the maze. But since we don't, go mode. So yeah, only about 50 seconds.
And after everything's said and done, checks between the two runners, they did like almost all the exact same things, just in a different order, leaving them with only 1 heart difference in terms of equipment. One's got 12 hearts, the other has 11. Everything else is basically the same between them.
Yeah, that's a good point. There really wasn't a whole lot that was done for either of them. The other one didn't. It wasn't even a situation where it just kind of evened out. Now, this is a situation where they pretty much checked the exact same stuff and left the same stuff behind as well. Neither of them deciding to worry about Hera, neither of them deciding to worry about killing the boss. I believe that KillerApp has an extra check here, or a couple extra checks with Ice Palace and then Green Pendant, but really that's about it. All right, and with that heart there, we are sitting at 13 for DJ, so he is darn near the max at this point. And yeah, like you mentioned before, Xander, with that quick swap, we just don't see menus. It's really nice. We're kind of low on immediate safeties. Oh, that's a little bit of time lost there. We don't have a cape. Both runners do have a blue goo, but no powder, no cape. So, gonna want to be careful here in TR with green mail and relatively low health. I'm pretty sure that one of these chops would, would darn near eat DJ for breakfast.
Does he still have the fairy?
Yeah, he does. He's still
okay. Whew. All right.
I want to say both of them do. I don't think KillerApp has used his either. So
when you die with fake flippers, do you lose your fairies? I'm trying to remember if that happened at any point to KillerApp.
He did die, but I'm almost positive it's an immediate death. So I think he's good as well. I didn't see it released.
Well, KillerApp's looking pretty healthy for now, at least, so it looks like we won't have to worry about that. We'll see down the line, though.
Yeah, the problem is that 7 hearts looks really good right now, but Pokies do 4 hearts. So, you know, 1 misstep, 2 hits, and you're dead.
That is true. The enemies of T-Rock do not mess around.
And that is kind of interesting here. So DJ has skipped the lava chest, steal a key, but is going to go ahead and do the walk around here. So that could make this very close, actually, if KillerApp just goes straight across.
Does this run the risk of KillerApp making it to the top of the dungeon without a key, though, or does that...
From KillerApp's perspective, yes, because then technically you could have a situation where there's a key in the lava chest and a key in that big chest, but because we know that the big chest only has a piece of heart, KillerApp's going to be good. And again, it's only like a 2% chance of that happening at all, but it is a possibility. I normally don't see runners do that. Normally they just kind of go by the odds and assume that they'll be one of the lucky 98%. But DJ was making sure there. All right, so both runners have a full set of magic here and 8 hearts. And DJ is just not messing around. I'm going to go ahead and do this. At this point, all we need is the key. I can't imagine that if it's not the last chest here. Okay. I can't imagine he's going to check that last chest. Nope. And KillerApp, I'm pretty sure, same thing. Ooh. Having a little difficulty there, but didn't get 1.0. Okay, well, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I'll take blame for that. I opened my mouth. I don't think I've ever seen those two anti-fairies sitting right next to each other. That's actually a really cool color setting on Trinex, not gonna lie. Alright, DJ, don't get hit again. Alrighty, well, if you've watched this before, you know what time it is. If you don't, you're about to find out. That is 7 crystals for DJ. Oh, somebody beat me to it. Awesome. There are 22 locations in the basement of GT that could contain that big key. So get your guesses in 1 through 22. Where is it going to be? Xander, what you got today?
I've become a big fan of the torch. I don't know, just seeing the key up there, having to get bonked down. So I believe that would be number 3 with typical routing, because you usually go to the right side to check those first 2 chests.
All right, so you're going with a relatively nice early key, and then we just get to see our runners fly up the gauntlet.
Yeah, in most seeds, it's a generous number. However, when you don't have boots, that's the times it can get really annoying. But yeah, in this case, I'm feeling nice. I feel like you're of the opposite camp here, though. What you feeling?
I don't know what you're talking about. So I feel like our locations are linked, right? Because you want the torch. I want Bob's chest. Just give me Bob's chest.
Oh, torch is going to be number 1 today, so by numbers, I'm off.
Well, you know what? I'll give you half a point for that. That's powder.
That's one of my favorite items. I'll for sure take it.
All right, so we are going to be going by DJ's routing, because DJ was the first person in, even if KillerApp finds the key first, which since they're doing opposite things, if KillerApp grabs a key here and heads over to the right-hand side, we're going to get a really quick clear of GT. And yep, so we're going to have pretty much everything checked here as quickly as they can. Our runners are kind of unknowingly doing this like a co-op. Unless DJ mirrors out after this, which given that he's killing the Stealthos, I would presume not. Stealthi, sorry. Stealthosis, is that what you said? Oh, that's going to be tight timing with walking there.
Might have been Stealthophyses, I've already forgotten. See, I said, let's see if we remember.
Okay, well, thankfully this isn't Key Sanity, because that's, yeah. That's 2 fetch quests. Oh, that is
right
huge!
Side.
That's a huge pull. Oh, and for those of you who guessed something below like 20, yeah. Unfortunately, you're gonna be wrong. This is gonna be potentially 21 for DJ. Wow. All right. So GT routing claiming another victim here. Obviously, it's not over yet. Oh wow. Okay. So DJ is not headed all the way back, making a liar out of me. He's not headed all the way over to Ice Armor, so we won't actually see that.
Numbers are hard. Do you know how many chests we're up to now?
This is, let's see, because there's 5 that we haven't done between these that we're skipping. So if this is his 4th chest in here, it'll be 17. It's going to be 14 through 17. So we're sitting at 13 right now. And there it is, number 17 for DJ. Because we have Bob's Chest, the 3 behind Ice Armors, and what do you call it? Everyone's favorite. Title Room. There we go. Spit that one all the way out. For those asking in chat, I believe KillerApp does still have his variant.
Oh, I just realized we got DJ Darkwing capped out their health amount now, given their latest findings on the left side of Ganon's Tower basement.
Yep, 14 hearts. We are as decked out as we could possibly be at this point. At this point, the only thing missing is that cape, which we know where that is, and the blue boomerang, which we know where that is too. All right, nice and quick gauntlet there by KillerApp. I imagine he's gonna be skipping all these keys, although he's gonna have to, or all these chests, although he's gonna have to kill a mini helmet there for the key. My brain got all the way there, and then my mouth just skipped a bunch of words.
Yeah, I was gonna say I must have blinked because I was following DJ Darkwing all the way up, and suddenly I realized KillerApp's all the way through the gauntlet. Like, when did that happen? Dang, they just beamed their way through there.
Yeah, these runners are crazy good, and the gauntlet is very difficult. You've got RNG with the enemies, you've got obviously Vimos and ice and just a bunch of just yuck. Oh wow, okay. That land mode too was very quick and very unorthodox. We'll just put it that way. So that was 2, but I'm pretty sure that only counted 1 for Act 2. Got another single there, I believe. So if I'm not mistaken, we're up to 2 hits total. That, I think, counted as 2, so we're probably at 4. Alright, there's 5. These patterns are not fun. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, and with Tempered Sword and our fire source of choice, yeah, we're pretty much fully decked out. Let's go beat us a pig. Whew, DJ cutting it close on that last lap run.
DJ Darkwing does get to save a little bit of time. Having 2 keys already in hand, didn't have to kill the little mini Helmas.
Isn't that a kind of bird, a tukey?
Oh no, sorry.
And Ganon's kind of breaking the 4th wall here, mentioning something about deja vu, which for these runners, I'm sure it is. They've definitely played enough scenes. Alright, so far so good. We are in the clear on to stage 3 of our wonderful boss.
And meanwhile, DJ Darkwing entering the Aga 2 fight. Let's see if they brought their protractor to this fight here.
Yeah, no kidding. Good call! Whoa! Wow. All right, DJ. Where is this in league, man? You're killing me. Nice. 3 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Can't complain about that.
Absolutely not, especially not with those patterns. But yeah, KillerApp is almost done here. I believe we're about 6 spins in, although that one didn't count. KillerApp is really having difficulty with the first spin of these triples, because they are triple setups. And if he can get that first one off instead of poking Ganon here, he'll be able to pull off the triple. He's right on it. There we go. I think we'll have a triple here. Meanwhile, Ganon giving DJ a really nice spot. Same nice spot it gave KillerApp to make sure the phase 2 was up. Alright, the final boss, a 1x3 bridge here. And we're done. Get your GGs in chat for KillerApp. KillerApp finishing in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 47 seconds. Apparently B-Torp was here.
DJ Darkwing opting to conserve some magic using the lamp rather than the fire rod to light these torches.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where it's preference. I normally use the lamp, but, you know, I don't know. I also don't ever go for triples, it doesn't really matter. I just take my doubles and keep moving. Alright, and there it is for DJ. That same 1x3 bridge to worry about. And then you can get your GGs in chat for him as well. Alrighty, so we are joined in the booth by KillerApp. GG, dude. Oh, and there's DJ too. GG to both of you.
There we go. For some reason I'm on push talk. Yeah, GG KillerApp.
I'm not sure that KillerApp's on anything to talk right now. Seems to be having difficulties. But yeah, that was a super interesting race. Because you guys basically got each other's go mode at the exact same time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's about what I can say about it.
Yeah, GT routing sucks.
You know what? Sometimes it's, you know, right there, and sometimes, well, that happens. You know, there's 22 different places it can be. You know, so Sometimes you're just going to lose because of that, and that's just the nature of Link to the Past Randomizer.
Yeah, that's fair. KillerApp, you still appear to be having issues having stuff pop on. Yeah, so in terms of routing, this was actually a really interesting seed because you guys basically did all the same stuff, just in kind of reverse orders. Very interesting. You'll definitely have to go back and watch it. But there were a lot of times where as the commentators and as the chat, as the spectators of the race, we knew a lot more than you guys did. And it was kind of interesting to see the catch up. Like KillerApp got the boots just before you did, and it was really crazy to see someone pull something out of Spike Cave because I swear that never happens.
Yeah, that was a nice find right there. At least I didn't forget to do it like I normally do.
That's fair, and that's one of those locations that even if you don't forget it, you might just be like, I don't really want to. Or you honestly,
Spike Cave sucks.
That's fair. Or you might just not have the health for it at the time. Because I mean, how about escape though? Like, holy cow! Have a sword, have a bow,
have a hammer while you're
hammer, right? Have Cane of Burna.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in there. You know, it was nice having the. Well, I shouldn't say nice. It was the bad bomb pack, but you know, at least you still got that. And you know, KillerApp said though that he actually couldn't get a drop and had to come back.
Yeah, KillerApp, honestly, from my perspective, didn't really seem too worried about it. Like, killed a couple of things. Didn't really get any drops, I don't think. Maybe got a heart, so like the first drop out of that pack, and then killed a rat and got arrows, and then was just like, no, I don't care, and just went through it. But with both gloves being in CAC, obviously that wasn't a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, what made it really interesting was the lack of KillerApp's bombs led to like a huge delay in CAC. Like, not the biggest, but long enough it's like you had full cleared CAC for a while before they had finally gone back to check out that area, and there was so much there as well.
Yeah, so basically KillerApp he skipped Lumberjack, which means he never got the bombs off of the bush guard or bush crab. And then S and Q'd and just went bought bombs and did Eastern, and then did South Shore, but died before going into Ice Ride Cave, got crabbed, and then went into CAC via the south. So he actually got his flute before you did, because you pull the what do you call it, shovel out of Mini Moldorm Cave, and then he basically turned that in right there because he was going that way anyways. It was very interesting.
We have a KillerApp in the chat. I actually do have one question for you, KillerApp, in the Twitch chat. At the very end, when you found Bombos in Ice Palace, we were afraid you might go for the T-Rock dip, but you did go to Pod where you needed to go. What was going on in your brain there? Did it feel like a YOLO risk kind of thing, or it's like that felt like the best play for you? Because that was crazy when we saw you reach one item away from go mode. It was like, DJ Darkwing will probably do Ice Palace, but will KillerApp do Pod? And we were kind of nervous about that. Which, while we're waiting, I guess, DJ Darkwing, there was the option of some Death Mountain stuff after you got the Ice Rod. Was there any thought in your mind to go up there instead of Ice Palace?
No. All that I had up on the mountain still was Hookshot Cave, and one more item in Hera, while at the same time there was still all my flipper checks, plus 3 items and green pendant out of ice. It was just a density play to just go ahead and hit up Ice Palace, and just got lucky that it happened to be the very first item was my go mode.
Got it. So yours was more a logical perspective. KillerApp saying, yeah, KillerApp felt behind, so it really was a little bit of a gamble that definitely paid off for KillerApp. So interesting seeing where each of you ended up based on a few minor route changes, but overall, like we said, you both did almost the exact same thing, just in slightly swapped orders.
Yeah, the only real difference, other than the GG routing, being that DJ, you obviously cleared a bit more pod, and KillerApp cleared pretty much all of Ice Palace. That's really about it.
Which, considering where the ice rod was, it kind of evened out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, especially because you guys had already had Samaria, so it wouldn't have taken very long to go through Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a game. So we have just an absolute boatload of races coming up. I think today we have just like an absolute slew of them. I'll go pull up the schedule to kind of confirm and tell you guys where it is. We have a bunch of races. We also have game 2 coming up for you guys. Is it right after this? You guys start at like 15 minutes or so?
No, we got an hour.
Okay.
That game will kick off at 4:10. It doesn't look like it's being restreamed though.
All right, cool. So that
Well, they might change their mind. Who knows?
Sorry, say that again?
So they might change their mind. Who knows?
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out too, out of the 3 races that I've done so far, that is the second time that I've gotten the .done notification while I was on phase 3 of Ganon.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure your last opponent was like Ninban. And if you could tell me that I get my .done notification when I'm on phase 3 again and against Ninban, I'd be pretty happy about that, just personally.
That was a fun scene too. Fire Rod on what was it, Lumberjack. Next game we had Fire Rod on Ped.
Yeah, and this time it was sitting on an Ice Rod cave. So just like the Fire Rod decided to get in on your pallet swap.
Yeah, that was kind of nice. So because I need to get chill and eat and get ready for the next game, I'm going to bounce. But I do want to thank you guys for commentating. GG again to KillerApp. Enjoy moving on after you beat me in an hour. And thank you to Xander and Hammer, both of you guys for doing the commentary. Our tracker, I don't want to butcher your name. I'm sorry. You're awesome though, and everyone involved in making this happen. Thank you all very much.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rundown of what we have left. If you want to watch some more rando, because there's always more rando. There's always more rando. We do have a race starting in about 3 minutes. There's a 10-minute delay, so it'll pop up at about 3:10, which is about 13 minutes from now. On SpeedGaming 5, that is Obscure Lifeform versus Darkened Sky. They actually have a game coming up right after that. That's going to be on SpeedGaming 5 as well. So back to back, if you want to watch a whole bunch of rando. We also have a 6:10, so that's in about 3 hours from now. If you're not part of the Eastern Time Zone and don't feel like doing the math, that is Someone 325 versus Furious Magic over on SpeedGaming. And then we have a 9:10, so a late night Sunday evening rando. That's Blaine versus Act the Boker on SpeedGaming 4. Remember to follow the SpeedGaming channels, as they have a whole bunch of stuff, including ALTTPR. That's pretty much all I've got. Shout out to my co-com, Xander Robotnik. It was absolutely fun common with you. Haven't done it before, but it was a blast. And shout out to our tracker, Seiryu. I'll go ahead and say it because I asked for a pronunciation beforehand. That's all I've got. So if Xander, if you want to take us out, feel free to.
Yeah, I don't got much else to say myself. Just stick around. We got more coming up on this channel. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the rando, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.